Ever wished no-shows would just disappear?
Like magic.
Yeah. Therapists and clients, everyone's happier. And it's all thanks to this, like, secret weapon.
Sounds intriguing.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Okay.
Appointment reminders. We've got these excerpts from a guide all about sending really effective ones.
I'm all ears?
It's mainly for therapists, but honestly, there are some gems in here for coaches and consultants, too.
Also, sure. Everyone deals with scheduling.
You're so right. So no matter what kind of appointments you're dealing with, we're going to pull out the most useful tips,
Love it.
help you seriously upgrade your scheduling game,
Yeah.
and say sayonara to those no-show blues.
It really is amazing how much less stressful things are when you've got a good reminder system in place.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm curious, have you ever gotten one of those reminders that was so bad, so confusing,
Oh, yeah.
that it made you just want to skip the appointment altogether?
Definitely. I once got a reminder, wrong date, wrong time. And then another one, like a few hours before, different location.
Oh, no.
It just felt so chaotic, not exactly confidence-inspiring.
That's the worst. It reminds us that we've all been on both sides of this, right?
For sure.
Sometimes you're the one scrambling because you forgot. Other times you're the one left hanging.
Absolutely.
But, it's important to remember that no-shows, they're not always about someone being flaky.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Life just gets so crazy sometimes.
Oh, tell me about it.
People are stressed, they forget things, or maybe their appointments aren't super regular, so they're hard to remember.
That's so true. Okay, so before we even get into, like, how to build the perfect reminder,
Yep.
let's talk big picture. Why do reminders even matter in the first place?
Well, thinking about it from the client side, it's like a friendly little nudge.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, we're looking forward to seeing you,
Right.
Takes away some of that worry about forgetting,
Free.
keeps appointments front and center, especially those irregular ones. And it shows the client that you value their time, that you're invested in their success. Helps build trust.
It makes total sense. It's not just logistics. It's like setting the tone for the whole relationship.
Absolutely.
And of course, for professionals, fewer no-shows means protecting your time, your income.
Oh, absolutely. But it goes even deeper than that. It's a sign of professionalism, good reminders, organized, reliable, shows you're all about clear communication, less stress for everyone.
I like that. It's like laying the groundwork for a good, strong client relationship right from the start.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established reminders, crucial,
Yes.
but how do we make them really work? What's the secret sauce?
One of the biggest traps is thinking everyone wants to be contacted the same way.
Oh, totally.
Some people, it's all texts. Others live for email.
Like you can't force everyone's feet into the same size shoe.
Exactly. And, there's actually research on this.
Oh, interesting.
A study in the Journal of Medical Internet Research, they found that text reminders way higher attendance rates
Yeah.
than phone calls or emails.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Makes sense, though, right? Texts are so immediate, so convenient.
Oh, for sure. So asking clients how they prefer to be contacted, that's key, right from the intake.
Absolutely. Shows you're paying attention to what they need right from the beginning.
Okay, so we're sending reminders in the way our clients actually like. What other Ninja tips should we have up our sleeves?
Making rescheduling super easy, that's a game changer.
Oh, I completely agree. I had to reschedule a dentist appointment recently, and they had this link right in the reminder text.
Perfect.
Pick a new time. So smooth, so stress-free.
That's a great example. Just a simple link or a clear phone number for rescheduling.
Makes all the difference.
It really does. Less anxiety for clients when they need to make changes.
Right.
So they're not avoiding you altogether.
And then it's easier for you to fill that open slot. Win-win.
Exactly.
Now, I'm curious about the timing of these reminders. How do we find that sweet spot helpful but not overwhelming people with messages?
You're right. Timing is key. A lot of people use a two-reminder approach.
Yeah.
One goes out 48 hours before, just a heads up. Then another one the day of, that final nudge.
That makes a lot of sense. Gives people a chance to adjust their schedule if they need to.
Exactly.
But what if someone keeps missing appointments? Even with the reminders, do we just give up?
Definitely not. This is where communication is so important.
Okay.
Check in with them, friendly, non-judgmental. Ask if the reminders are working. Maybe it's a technical glitch. Maybe they prefer a different format.
It's about that open dialogue, like any good relationship.
Right. Yeah. Now, this next part might not apply to everyone listening, but it's super important for folks in healthcare.
Okay.
HIPAA and confidentiality. How do we make sure our reminders are effective and compliant?
Great point. When you're dealing with sensitive health info, every communication, including reminders, has to be HIPAA compliant.
So that means avoiding any specifics about the appointment type or reason in the reminder itself.
Exactly. Keep it generic and professional. Reminder: your appointment is on date at time.
Safe bet. It's like a little coded message, respects client privacy.
Makes sense.
And of course, always get consent from the client to send reminders in the first place. Privacy is paramount.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. The importance of choice, timing, those special considerations for healthcare.
That's a lot.
It's clear that making effective reminders, it takes some real thought.
Definitely.
But let's be honest, sending all these out manually, that can be a serious time suck.
Oh, you're telling me.
Right. So that's where technology comes in to save the day, right?
It really does.
Digital assistance to the rescue.
Exactly.
We're talking about software that can automate those perfectly timed reminders, track responses, maybe even let clients reschedule themselves in just a couple of clicks.
You got it.
That sounds amazing. But while automation is great, are there any downsides? Could it feel impersonal to some clients?
That's a really good point. There's always that risk of things becoming too automated,
Right.
losing that personal touch.
Yeah.
So it's super important to choose the right tools, customize them to your style, your client's needs.
I see. It's about finding that balance, efficiency, but still keeping that real connection.
Exactly.
Which actually brings us to another big part of reminder success:
What's that?
personalization. Even in this digital age, a little bit of personalization can go a long way.
Oh, absolutely.
I know I'm way more likely to open an email, pay attention to a text if it feels like it was actually meant for me,
For sure.
like a handwritten note in a world of mass production.
You nailed it. It's all about making those connections, even in something as simple as an appointment reminder.
So how do we personalize reminders without crossing those HIPAA boundaries, especially in healthcare?
That's a great question. And you're right. It's a delicate balance, especially with sensitive information. But there are still ways to add that personal touch while staying compliant.
I'm all ears. Tell me more about those HIPAA-friendly personalization tactics.
Well, one really powerful way is just using their preferred name.
Oh,
Seems small, but it instantly makes it feel more human. Less like a generic blast.
like you're acknowledging them as a person, not just a name on the schedule.
Exactly. And if it's appropriate for your practice, if you have the info handy, you could even briefly mention something specific they're working on.
Oh, interesting.
Like, looking forward to our session on date where we'll continue exploring those mindfulness techniques.
That's such a good idea. Shows you're paying attention, invested in their progress.
Exactly.
Like a mini pep talk tucked into a reminder.
Precisely. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Right.
Even a simple "see you soon" adds warmth, personality, keeps it professional, HIPAA friendly.
Okay, so we've got some great strategies for personalized reminders, resonate with clients, but still respect confidentiality.
Definitely.
Before we move on, though, want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, those tech tools that can automate reminders.
Oh yeah, those can be lifesavers.
For sure. But what should we look for when choosing a scheduling tool? Any specific recommendations?
That's a great question. The most important thing is that it's user-friendly, intuitive, both for you and your clients.
Right. Ease of use is key.
Absolutely. Look for things like customizable reminder templates.
Okay.
So you can really tailor them to your brand, your style, and of course, the ability to schedule them in advance, automate the whole thing. That's crucial.
So set it and forget it. No more late night reminder scrambles.
Exactly. It frees up your mental space to focus on what matters, your clients.
Sounds amazing. Anything else that's a must-have?
Being able to track responses is super helpful.
Oh, how so?
Some tools will show you who opened the reminder, who confirmed, who might need a little nudge.
Smart. Takes the guesswork out of follow-up.
Exactly. And some even integrate with other platforms, your calendar, electronic health records,
Wow.
streamlines, everything.
Okay, so we're talking seamless scheduling bliss here.
Pretty much.
But let's be realistic. These fancy tools probably come with a price tag.
You're right. Most do have a subscription fee. But think of it as an investment in your practice,
Yeah.
your peace of mind.
Right.
Preventing even a few no-shows can more than cover the cost.
That's a good point. And when you factor in the time saved, the stress reduced.
Huge.
Seems like a no-brainer.
Absolutely. And a lot of them offer free trials,
Oh, nice.
so you can test the waters before committing.
That's awesome. All right, so we've explored the what, the why, the how of appointment reminders.
We have.
From personalized messages to the power of tech, there's a real art and science to this.
It's true.
But before we wrap things up, I want to touch on something you said earlier about reminders being more than just logistics.
Hmm.
They're a chance to build stronger relationships.
Yes, that's something I'm really passionate about.
I can tell. So how do we shift our thinking, see reminders as more than just a chore?
It's all about intention.
Okay.
Instead of just preventing no-shows, think of them as a touch point, a way to nurture that client relationship.
I love that. Like you're weaving relationship building right into every interaction.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
Even small things can make a difference.
Okay, give me an example. Always love practical tips.
Well, let's say you have a client working on social anxiety.
Mm.
In the reminder, you could add, remember, even small steps forward are worth celebrating. Looking forward to our session.
Oh, that's nice. A little encouragement just when they might need it.
Exactly. Or if a client is going through something tough,
Yeah.
acknowledge that. Sending you strength and support as we navigate this together. See you at our session.
Wow, that's powerful. It's like you're saying, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you.
Precisely. Small things create connection, support, goes beyond just the logistics.
It really does.
Makes a world of difference.
I'm so inspired. But I have to admit, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and forget those little touches.
I get it. We all get busy.
Yeah.
One thing that helps me is having reminder templates with those relationship-building phrases already in there.
Oh,
So even when I'm short on time, I know those messages are going out with that intention, that care.
that's brilliant. Like you're preloading them with a dose of connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can personalize those templates even further based on each client. It's about finding what works for you.
I love that. Working smarter, not harder, making those reminders a force for good.
Absolutely.
But before we get too carried away with our reminder revolution, let's take a quick break, gather our thoughts.
Oh, good.
Then we'll come back, recap everything, and leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of appointment reminders.
It really is a fascinating topic.
More than I ever expected.
Right.
We've covered so much, the psychology behind those no-shows, the power of personalization, those incredible tech tools.
And that shift in mindset from seeing reminders as a chore to seeing them as a real opportunity to build those relationships.
Exactly. So for anyone who just joined us, or maybe their mind wandered off to that no-show free paradise we were talking about,
Happens to the best of us.
let's do a quick recap, hit those key takeaways.
Sounds good.
First things first, reminders benefit everyone.
Absolutely.
They reduce stress for the client, the professional, and they help build that clear, consistent communication.
Which is essential for any good relationship.
Couldn't agree more. And we can't forget about choice.
Oh, that's so important.
Not everyone wants to be contacted in the same way, so offering options, text, email, phone call, that's key.
You want to respect individual preferences, make it as easy as possible for people to engage.
For sure. And then there's the timing, that two-reminder approach, one 48 hours out, one the day of.
Yeah, it seems to be really effective.
Gentle but effective, keeps those appointments top of mind without being too much.
Exactly.
We also talked about how technology can be a total game changer, automating those reminders, freeing up our time.
Those tools are incredible for streamlining everything, making sure those reminders go out consistently, even when we're super busy.
But tech is just a tool, right?
Yeah.
The real magic happens when we add that personal touch, that genuine care.
Absolutely. Using their name, mentioning their specific goals, offering a few words of encouragement, those little things make a big difference.
It's like you're saying, hey, I see you, I value you, I'm invested in your success.
Exactly. And that resonates so much more deeply than just a generic impersonal message.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
Okay, I like it.
What if we saw every interaction, not just appointment reminders, as a chance to build stronger relationships?
That's a powerful shift in perspective.
It really is. It's about bringing that intentionality, that care to every email, every phone call, every text.
It's about recognizing that even those seemingly small moments of connection can ripple outwards, create a more positive, supportive environment.
And remembering that we're all human, those human connections, they're what make life richer.
They really are.
So next time you're sending any message, an appointment reminder, a quick check-in, even just a hello, take a moment to ask yourself, how can I make this interaction not just informative, but relationship building?
It's a simple shift, but it can have a big impact.
Absolutely. Well, a huge thank you to our expert for sharing their wisdom with us today.
My pleasure.
And to you, dear listener, for joining us on this deep dive into the world of appointment reminders. We hope you found it valuable, maybe even a little bit inspiring.
I hope so too.
Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.